Hey, what's up, guys? Here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we do here is fire. You guys know the drill. So let's get right to the YouTube show I have for you guys today. Here on the Fire Sports Pod, I'm your host Zach Jackson. How are you guys doing on April Fools? Man, can't believe it's already April 1st. March flew by like nothing. It's crazy. So we have a lot to get to here on Recap Monday. This is our 35th episode on season 2. That means Wednesday, guys, we will be moving to season 3. Cannot believe it's already been 3 seasons into the show. We started this back in 2022. Oh, no, I should say 2023 of June. And we're already about to be 2024 of June. So we've already been to 3 seasons and it hasn't even hit a full year yet. It's been a pleasure and a great honor to be your host of the Fire Sports Pod. So let's get right to it. Here on Recap Monday, we got 3 segments for you guys today. We're going to be going over just in general about what happened yesterday and over the weekend. Yesterday was a thriller of different atmospheres from different leagues. We had college basketball, March Madness for both the women's and the men's. The Elite Eight to go to the Final Four. We finish out with the Elite Eight tonight with LSU taking on Iowa, and I believe it's USC taking on. I believe it's USC taking on another top opponent to advance to the Final Four. I'll tell you exactly what that is. Yeah, USC versus UConn. So it's we got some good ones, 7:15 and 9:15 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely go check that out. But we're gonna be moving on. I haven't couched the TikTok yet. We got about 5 stories to go over from the weekend, including a couple stories on the Yankees and what a series they had going into the season starting last Thursday, where we absolutely just showed who's the better team in a first 4 game set of the MLB season as the Yankees take the first 4 games of the MLB season and sweep the Houston Astros. It was a great day and it was a great weekend and great series to be a Yankees fan because you saw your Yankees finally live up to expectations that they should have lived up last year. So, a little synopsis: Juan Soto, he had 3 hits, man. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys didn't understand, 3 hits capped by an RBI single with 2 outs in the ninth inning that lifted the New York Yankees to a 4-3 win Sunday that completed an opening 4 game sweep of the Houston Astros. Now, with the score at 3-3, Gleyber Torres singled off a closer Josh Hader, 0 of 1 with 2 outs in the ninth inning and stole second base. Soto then singled on a line drive to left field, which got the runner home. Torres was moving on those bases on contact with 2 outs. It just put a bow on the series of what we saw in his at-bats. Manager Aaron Boone said, Soto hit 529, 9 for 17 with 4 RBIs in his first games with the Yankees after his trade from San Diego, helping New York to its first 4-0 start since 2003. We such a historic franchise that we have not been 4-0 to start the regular season since 2003 is crazy. And it's just its fourth since 1950. That's even ridiculously more crazy. Now, that's the kind of start I wanted, Soto said with a laugh. I grinded really hard this offseason and in a spring training to be successful in the beginning of the season. And it shows. I mean, he has put in the work and it's finally showing through. Now the Yankees look like a formidable opponent and one of the best teams in the major leagues. Now, again, it is only 4 games into the season. We still have 158 more games to go, but this is a great start for the New York Yankees from last year's disaster 82-80 season. Now, more news on the Yankees. The New York Yankees, like we said, defeated the Astros Sunday by scored 4-3 in the box score, completing the open weekend sweep and securing the franchise, like we said, first a 4-0 start for more than 2 decades. Outfielder Juan Soto delivered the pivotal hit, notching an opposite field single in the top of the ninth inning against former San Diego Padres teammate Josh Hader. Now, on top of that, Verdugo made a nice diving save in left field that really put the icing on the cake, as that was the third and final out to end the series and end the game to get our 4-0 sweep of the Houston Astros. Now, Houston's a big juggernaut. They have killed us since like 2016. They have won consecutive American League wins to advance to the World Series. They have one of the winningest teams in baseball. But they ran into a brick wall to us over the weekend to start off this opening series. It didn't look pretty first game of the season. Nestor Cortez gave up 4 runs. We were down 4-0, but we kept plugging away. What a series Cabrera had. He was playing phenomenal. I mean, you could just look at the stats and look at the amount of hits and look at the timing of those hits and those runs batted in for Cabrera. And he was a big part of why we got our 4-0 sweep of the Houston Astros this weekend, along with Juan Soto. There was 2 names that really were not talked about at all. Was Aaron Judge, our captain, and Gleyber Torres. I mean, I know Gleyber got on base for Soto to hit the single to get him home. But other than that, he was 2 of 15 in the series, and I believe Judge was 2 of 16 in the series. They combined for 4 of, I believe, 32 or 31 at hits. That is not going to cut it. But the fact of the matter is that those 2 were our best players last season. And without them hitting correctly and well, we were horrible. With them today, for some reason, this year, we got more backup. We got Soto. Stanton looks more healthy, looks more in shape, and looks ready to roll. He's running the bases a lot better than he has in the recent years. So we have some good chemistry going with Soto. It looks like everyone's having fun. Everyone's for each other out there. Verdugo. We used to be saying "fuck Verdugo" in the stands. If you were a Yankees fan, he was on the Red Sox just last year. So we were saying "f Verdugo" and all this, and now he's on our team, and we loved him because last night he saved us. He had that sliding save, and if it wasn't for him, that would have been at least 2 runs, and the game would have been over. They would have won in the bottom of the 9th inning, 5-4, because Altuve was on first and he was running on contact. So that would have got by him. That guy from third was definitely, and it would have been a throw at the plate. And I'm taking Altuve to slide and get that in more than Verdugo's arm from all the way back there. So I'll take that. I'll take the win, 4-0 sweep. We play the Diamondbacks tonight at 9:40. I believe we got a 3-game set today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And then Thursday we're off. And then we got the home series Friday. Our opening day home series in the Bronx is on Friday. So catch that there. Any more news we have for the Yankees, I'll get to you guys in my TikToks. But now, moving on from that, we're going to be talking about the great and the one and only King James himself. I mean, he put on another masterclass last night. If you guys did not see it, I mean, obviously, he played the Nets. The Nets are not going to be part of the playoffs. They're rebuilding, but they're still a good team. They got Cam Thomas. They got Mikal Bridges. They got a lot of good players. They got pretty good players. Cam Johnson. They got some dogs there. But the fact of the matter is LeBron James shot 17 shots, made 13 of them, went 9 of 10 from 3, and dropped 40 points and secured the dub. And he even said, coming after the win, he said that I don't know how much time I got left. And it gave me goosebumps even looking at it, reading about it, because that's my favorite player in basketball. That's my idol. And he's one of the best players in the game. He's the second best behind Michael Jordan right now. But if he wins a 5th title, the discussion gets even thinner of all the accolades, how long he's played, and how well he's doing it at his age. Knowing he's about to become 40. Who at 40 years old, almost 40 years old, is dropping 40 points and shooting 9 of 10 from 3. His percentage for threes this year has now moved up for the season from 41 to now, I believe it's 42.6% from 3. He's shooting 43% from 3. Remember, guys, he's a power forward / small forward. He's 6'8", 200 something pounds. This guy's not supposed to be making 43% of his threes. That's Steph Curry numbers. That's crazy. This guy's 39 years old. He's 4 years older than Steph, and he's shooting similar, if not better, from 3-point percentage this year than Steph. That's just remarkable to even think about and fathom. But just in general, like I said, LeBron James, 40 points, ties a career high, 13 of 17 field goals, 9 3-pointers made, also ties a career high, and only missed 1 3. I mean, LeBron James is in 21-year career. He has scored 40 points in a victory yet again. It feels like it's not even real when he does it. It's so easy for this guy to do this. He's not even breaking a sweat, it seems like. Some of the times where he drops 40, all these big numbers, it feels like he's not even breaking a sweat. Now, Low brought his three-point percentage to a career high of 41.6. It was 41.6. So he's 42% on the season, reflecting the growing reality that James will turn 40 next season, has needed to change the game as a result of his age. Because now he can't physically dominate the game like he used to, go down the lane and throw it down on somebody. He can't do it anymore because he's physically unable to do it. Now, not meaning he can't do it. He still can. We've seen it in this year as well. He can dunk on anybody. But he can't do it all the time like he used to in Miami, in Cleveland, even in 2020, in 2021. Can't do it anymore. He's just getting an older body, and he's saving himself for the playoffs. We've got 42 wins on the season. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be in the playoffs. We don't want him throwing down, going all out when we can have him rest a couple games. We got 7 games left. We can run the table against these 7 games left. I mean, if we look at the schedule, the remaining schedule that we have for the Lakers, it's not crazy. So if we're looking at the Lakers schedule right here, the rest of the games that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got 7 more games. We just beat the Nets. We got the Raptors tomorrow at 7. That should be a dub. You got the Wizards at the Wizards on Wednesday. That should be another dub. Then you got the Cavs. That's going to be a tough one, but it's in LA. Then you got the Timberwolves. Going to be another tough one, but we've proven to beat the Cavs and the Timberwolves this year. The Warriors, going to be another crazy one. That's going to be a big implication Tuesday, April 9th at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Probably going to be one of the biggest games of the year. Probably going to be a seeding spot. Then we got the Grizzlies on Friday of April 12th. That should be a win. And then you got the Pelicans. So realistically, we have 4 out of the 7 games left. We got against formidable opponents: the Cavs, the Timberwolves, the Warriors, and the Pelicans. But realistically, I think the only game we should lose, if we do lose, is either the Pelicans or the Timberwolves. I don't think the Cavs can beat us, and I don't think the Warriors can beat us. And if the Pelicans are off, then we've proven to beat every team. I believe, other than Denver, I think we've beaten every team this year. Other than Denver, we can't beat. But I want to see them. I hope we actually play them in the first round, because that will basically hinder any excitement from me. So if we get bounced in the first round, well, I don't got to worry about stressing about my Lakers. If we don't get bounced and we actually beat the Nuggets, then we shouldn't lose a series to anybody in the planet, because we just beat the defending champs and the only team that everyone's saying that's going to come out of the West and might win the championship, other than Boston from the East. So I would like to get that out of the way and see how we do. But yeah, I just think it's crazy to even think that LeBron James is nearing the end of his career. He's 21 years in the NBA. He's broken almost every record. I mean, there's so many. He's still breaking records, but how many records can he break in the time he has left? There's a potential re-sign of LeBron James in the offseason, because he's going to be a restricted free agent after this season. So he's able to go wherever he wants. Obviously, he wants to play with his son, Bronny, which is his number one goal. But I think Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka are going to do magic, and they're going to trade up to get or they're going to get Bronny in some way, which keeps LeBron in LA. And then they're going to give him a 3-year contract, probably to worth his max salary. And then they're going to have him go through the 2026-2027 season, where he'll probably be 43 years old, and then he'll retire. He'll be able to play with his other son, Bryce, which is eligible for the NBA in 2026. So then that 2027 season will be his last season. He'll be able to play with his son, Bronny, and Bryce in the NBA. He ends his career, and he goes out as probably the best player to ever walk this planet, or best athlete probably to ever walk this planet. We've never seen an athlete take care of his body like he does. I've never been a guy that's so non-injury prone, knock on wood, that doesn't happen. But up until the last 2 years, he has been non-injury all the time. He has been there on the floor. I've never seen a guy that's basically tweaks his ankle all the way onto the floor, gets up, ties it tighter, and he's able to jump out the gym. It's ridiculous. Doesn't go to the locker room, doesn't go on the bench. He comes in, ties him up. But nowadays, older body, bones are wearing out. He's going down early. So other than that, I mean, I think we have to understand that we're not going to be getting a lot of these 40 balls anymore, and we have to cherish them and really remember them and really own it that, man, one of the greats, if not the greatest, is going to be retiring sooner rather than later. So we have to remember And we have to understand that. The Nets did it great. Their team was getting demolished. They came back there. They were all cheering for LeBron. He had a sidestep three to corner fading out of bounds. Hit another one. They were all cheering because they realize, a lot of the fan base realizes that without LeBron James, what is going to happen? Me and Irv talked about it on Friday. Who's going to be the face of the league? Me and Joe, we also talked about it. Who's going to be the face of the NBA when he leaves? Victor Wembanyama, Luka Doncic, Jason Tatum, any of these top guys that have been balling. Who's going to be able to take it? I haven't seen anybody that has the potential. No, there's a lot of potential. I got to say that. There's a lot of potential to take the torch away. But I haven't seen anybody that wants to take it because it comes responsibility. There comes to winning championships. There comes to all the talk about, well, if you're not winning a championship, then who are you, whatever. That's what LeBron got all the time when he was in Cleveland the first. Gets to Miami, wins 2, goes back to Cleveland, wins another one, goes to LA, wins 1, and then is now trying to get his 5th title. So you got to appreciate the wins and the losses. You got to appreciate his time on the basketball court because sooner rather than later, it will be over. Now we move on to our last segment here on the Fire Sports Pod. I hope you guys enjoyed my show so far. We're going to be moving on to college basketball. Like, what is better than March Madness right now? I mean, other than me watching my Lakers and my Rangers have 50 wins on the season who play tonight, and the Yankees just got 4-0, there's really nothing better because the MLB season just started. He's still got 158 more games to play. So I'll be watching every Yankee game out there. But at the same time, no one really cares that much about baseball until it gets later in the year because you could go 0-30 to start the season and then run it through and then end up with 100 wins and 40 losses. That's how the MLB season goes because there's so many games. Now, the Rangers season is almost over. I believe we're 50-20. So if you look at that, that's 70 games. There's 82, I believe, in a season, something around there. So you got about 10 to 12 more games left. We're almost done with the NHL season. Playoffs are right around the corner. Rangers are playing phenomenal. But, man, what is better than March Madness? We're right here. We are going into the Final Four for the men's next Saturday. The Elite Eight finishes up for the women's tonight with LSU taking on Iowa. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. And then we got Paige Beckers and UConn versus Watkins in USC. Another marquee matchup. UConn, Iowa, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. USC versus UConn, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't hesitate. Better watch it. You don't want to miss it. So we're going to be going on to some brackets. Like I said earlier, my brackets we're going to go to the women's first. In the Elite Eight, we had South Carolina advancing no matter who they played. I thought it was Notre Dame going to be there, but it actually was Oregon State that beat Notre Dame to advance. And South Carolina took them down to advance to the Final Four. I had Texas there, but Texas, NC State beat Stanford. The NC State beat Texas. So NC State is in the Final Four to face South Carolina to go to the national championship. Obviously, I'm going to have South Carolina winning that game. Then we have Iowa, LSU right here. We got Iowa in this bracket winning this game. We have USC versus UConn. I got Paige Beckers and UConn advancing. And then we have Iowa taking on UConn in the Final Four to advance the national championship. We have Iowa taking on South Carolina. Caitlin Clark gets that illustrious national championship to add to her resume and probably goes down as probably one of the best women's college basketball players of all time. And Iowa wins the national championship. So that's where my bracket here is on the women's. And we are going to pivot to the men's. Now, on the men's, as you guys know, me and my dad picked Kentucky to win it all. We are officially out of it. Kentucky is out of our Final Four. Tennessee lost. Arizona lost. And UConn is the only one, but we had UConn versus Kentucky and Kentucky winning it all. So the only person we were right about was UConn advancing to the Final Four. So this one is kind of trash. It's done. The other one with Joe, we kind of effed up as well. UConn, Iowa State, Illinois was there. UConn advanced, so we had UConn winning. Mississippi State, New Mexico weren't even close. Then you had Wisconsin versus Marquette, wasn't even close. Purdue versus Tennessee was close, but we had Tennessee. So Purdue won. The only thing we got rolling for us is we picked UConn to win the national championship versus Tennessee. So he'll win something by picking UConn to win the national championship. Now one with my cameraman Kevin. We had UConn. He had Drake for some odd reason. Drake never even got there. Then UConn advanced to the Final Four, where they played, was supposed to play Arizona. Arizona didn't even make it there. Michigan State didn't even make it there. So he was definitely wrong on that one. Then he had Florida getting to the Final Four. I don't know where the hell that came from. I think it came out of his ass because I have no idea where that came from. Florida didn't even make it there. Not even close. Then we had Kansas versus Tennessee. Kansas didn't even make it there. Tennessee lost to Purdue. So he had Tennessee in the national championship versus UConn, where Tennessee would win. So this one's trash as well. So the only thing he was right that UConn is going to advance to the national championship. We'll see if that even happens. So that's pretty much it for the brackets for the men's and the women's side of things. So there's really only 2 brackets available for winning, one for the women's and one with my boy Joe. Now we move on to what's happening when it comes to my phone. We have some crazy winners in this one. If we go to the picks for the men's, we have UConn winning this. We have Kentucky winning this one. So this one's kind of trash. The UConn one is ranked 48,242nd in the whole nation. We had UConn versus North Carolina. Obviously, North Carolina did not get there. We had Houston versus Purdue. Houston was going to beat Purdue. Houston never got there. Purdue was supposed to lose. So we still had UConn winning the national championship. So we still have it up for grabs. Now for the women's, in my LSU one, I am ranked 124,458th. Where right now we are in the grand scheme of things right now. The Final Four matchup is LSU versus USC. And then it's South Carolina versus Texas, but now it's South Carolina versus NC State. We have South Carolina versus LSU, where LSU would win. This one is Iowa versus UConn, where Iowa would win. And then we have South Carolina versus Stanford. Stanford never got there. Would South Carolina win? South Carolina versus Iowa. Iowa would win. Now that's for the CBS one. Now we move to the ESPN one, where we only have one bracket alive, which is the women's, where I have Iowa winning, and they are in the grand scheme of things. We have South Carolina versus Stanford in the Final Four. That did not go as planned. South Carolina got there. Stanford did not. We had Iowa versus USC. We'll see what happens there. We have Iowa beating USC. Iowa taking on South Carolina to advance the national championship, where Iowa would beat South Carolina to win it all. That's for the ESPN. Now, the March Madness live bracket. We have some winners here, where we will see what's happening with these. Now, I have one that are in play. Which is the NC State bracket. I have NC State winning it all for the men's. My Final Four is NC State versus Purdue. I got that right. I had UConn, but I didn't. I thought North Carolina would be there, not Alabama. And then I have UConn versus NC State. NC State winning 76-72. Win the national championship. If I am right, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see me on every fucking social media platform saying you better listen to Zack Jackson and the Fire Sports Pod, because I have been right, and no one thought, other than these fuckers that decide to pick NC State out of nowhere and get the whole thing right. But I never see any sports writer, anybody that I know on SportsCenter or any of these bullshits say NC State was winning anything. Not getting to the Final Four, not getting to the national championship, not winning nothing. They'll be lucky to get past the second round. But I picked them to win it all. And I am beating out some pretty famous fuckers on the Bleacher Report. Ernie Johnson, Jay Wright, Candace Parker, Kenny Smith, Taylor Rooks, Charles Barkley, Adam Lefoki. I'm beating all of them. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. 7. I am ranked 813 out of the 124,000 people that are on this thing. 121,000 to 121.84K that are on this March Madness Live app for the Bleacher Report. So if I win this all, cap off to me. But other than that, guys, that is pretty much it for my YouTube show here on the Fire Sports Pod. Hope you guys enjoyed my show. I will catch you guys on Wednesday where we will turn to Season 3, Episode 1. Don't want to miss it. Catch you guys there. This is all we have for Recap Monday. I'm your host, Zach Jackson, here on the Fire Sports Pod. Have a great rest of your Monday afternoon. Happy April Fool's Day. Hope you guys had a great Easter Sunday. Appreciate all the support, guys. Love you all. Catch you guys on Wednesday. Peace out.